Hey, this is Dayla Weeks with Louisiana Gridiron Football. Today I'm here with Joseph Alexander, Offensive Lineman from Catholic High School in Baton Rouge. He is ranked number 16 in our 2020 version of the Recruiting Edition. So first things first, Joseph, I would like you to show me your favorite play and walk me through it.
Absolutely. My favorite play would have to be power. We run it about 1,000 different ways, but I'm going to draw the basic variation here. I'm going to draw it to an even front because that's typically how we see it during the year. Sometimes you're going to get an odd front, especially later in the season, like in the playoffs. But I'd say probably 60% to 70% of when we run it, it's against an even front. All right, let's see. Okay. So this would be 26, this would be to the right. Okay, and I'm going to draw it super duper basic. We have about 1,000 different crazy stuff going on. This is the basic movements of it. So the first thing here is the center is going to be down blocking the nose, and sometimes he'll get help, but sometimes that's just going to be him. And that's just going to be a left power step and just trying to get his head across the defender to protect the play side here. So the guard and the right tackle, the right guard and the right tackle are going to be double teaming the tackle, and they're working towards this mic here. So the interior, the guard here is going to be lifting the defender, and then this tackle is going to try to knock over that defensive tackle, and then ideally you could knock this over immediately and get straight there. And then you have this big just gash right here. The H here is going to insert and kick out the end, and again, in power you could have the H here, doing 1,000 different things. This is just typically kind of the standard way. This left guard here, this backside guard, is going to be pulling for the will, and a key coaching point here is just tightness. You want to be very, very tight to this double team so it's impossible for the will to get inside. And then finally, this backside tackle is just going to be gap hinging, preventing the end from coming inside and doing anything.
Okay, that looks like a very strategic play. When was the first time that was taught to you, or when did you first actually run it?
Well, that's probably the first play we were taught. This is kind of our bread and butter. And the first time we ran it is probably the first time we stepped out on the practice field.
Okay. All right, we'll be right back after the commercial break.
In Louisiana, football is year-round. At Louisiana Gridiron Football, we're more than just a magazine. Our mission is simple: bring you the inside scoop on the teams that matter most to you. Go to LouisianaGridironFootball.com and subscribe today.
All right, so Joseph, tell me a little bit about your character, some of your accolades on and off the field.
Well, I think of myself as a very hard worker. I think of myself as a team player. I feel like the better our team is doing, the better I'm doing. And in terms of just stuff I've accomplished, I have a 3.9 GPA. I've worked very hard to get a 33 on the ACT. And, the school, it's really a team environment in everything we do, on and off the field. And there's just like I said, the idea that the better the group does, the better you do.
So as far as your academics go, you highly exceed the minimum requirements to be eligible for college. What motivated you academically and athletically?
Well, I'm just blessed that there are excellent teachers at my school who really inspire us to try to do the best that we can. And I'm very grateful to them for helping me get to where I am.
Mm. Do you have a role model, either in football or some other sport that you look up to or model their play?
I have many role models, and it's always good to just look at people who've achieved success and try to model yourself after them.
So, Joseph, tell me about some awards that you've gotten kind of on and off the field, community, academics, as far as athletics go as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. So this past season, my junior year, I was first team all-district, and the Louisiana Football Coaches Association kind of rated me as all-state. So that was a very big accomplishment, something I'm very proud of.
Okay. And what do you think a coach would say about your character, how you are on the field, as well as the person you are off the field?
I like to just be thought of as a hard worker, and but also someone who's very, very focused and very kind of mentally present. Because, a lot of people work very hard, but there's a question of how specific are your goals and how specific is your training to get there.
For sure. When did you actually get started with football? How did you get started? Why did you want to start?
I started in 3rd grade, and I still remember we were the Giants back then. And as soon as I started playing, the physicality, the violence, you don't really find that anywhere else. And there's just something so awesome about that. And just the team environment. I mean, some of my best friends in this world are people I've played football with.
Okay. So, what is the main reason you love football? What makes you passionate about it?
The violence is always fun, but again, ultimately, it's those friends you have that'll just be with you always, because you've sweated with those people, you've hurt with those people, and there's just a bond that doesn't get broken after that.
So going into your senior year, do you have any offers for college?
I have 20 offers as of right now.
Okay. So with that being that you already have experience with recruiting, the recruiting process, tell me about how that's been for you so far.
It's been very exciting. And I've talked to recruiters, and they said kind of stuff has started moving maybe a little faster than normal, but they say the whole recruiting situation is kind of accelerated. Like, things happen faster than they used to. But for me, obviously, this is my first time, so I wouldn't know either way. But it's been exciting. Parts of it have been a little stressful, but it's like the best kind of stressful, because it's extremely productive and exciting.
So you excelled not only on the field, but also in the classroom, as you mentioned, your GPA and your ACT score. Going into college, what do you think your major would want to be?
Probably something financial, something involved in business.
So what are your future goals, aspirations with football and just in life in general?
Everybody wants to go to the NFL, and that's certainly what I want to do, if that's something I'm able to do. But it's just to play football at the highest level I can personally, wherever that takes me. And I'm doing everything in my power to make that happen.
Okay. And as far as the very detailed play that you went into, how do you think you can increase your playmaking skills doing the jump from high school to college?
Just the nutrition. I've talked to college coaches, and they say the biggest jump from high school to college athletes is just their ability to have perfect nutrition all the time. And of course, that's something I work at, but just logistically, when you're on a college campus, they have all this excellent food just in as much as you want. And I really feel like that would help any high school athlete kind of get to that next level.
Yeah. So during the summer right now, it's the off season for you. Tell me about how you're going to try to increase your strength, your knowledge, just your whole football aspect overall.
Well, we practice all summer long, just strength, just football skills, and just religiously. Because, again, I'm blessed. Our coaches are absolutely excellent, and I find the degree to which you do what they say is the degree to which you are successful. So just trying to just make sure I'm totally observant and just doing what they say.
What specific skill are you trying to hone in and really perfect jumping from your junior to senior season?
I would say this is probably a skill I was pretty successful at last year, but there's always room for improvement, and that is how often, on how many plays is your defender on the ground? Because obviously if they're on the ground, they're not doing anything to affect the development of the play. So just to get that number as high as possible.
And I know this is going into your senior season, your last season of high school. What are your expectations and goals, not only for yourself, but for your team overall?
We like to just be the best team that we can be. And that means doing everything that we can do to just correct issues and just being focused on improving every little detail.
So you are 6'3", 300 pounds, correct?
Correct.
So finally, Joseph, tell me something that people might not know about you.
Well, I absolutely love basketball. For a long time, I thought I'd be playing basketball in college, but I guess my love for football probably eclipsed that. But for years, I would play AAU basketball, and our team, sometimes we get destroyed, but other times we would win. And you just learn so much in adversity there. There's just so much athleticism that you have to work for to play competitively at that sport. I love basketball. I love watching the NBA. And, if any sport rivaled football in terms of my love for it, it'd be basketball.
Yeah, definitely playing basketball for you just shows that you have that agility set that you use in basketball that can be carried over to football.
Absolutely.
All right, so once again, I'm Dayla Weeks with Louisiana Gridiron Football. This is Joseph Alexander, offensive lineman from Catholic BR. All right, thanks.